Former IPID head Robert McBride says a private legal company, Werksmans, should not have been involved in the work of the NPA. Werksmans Attorneys was commissioned by Police Minister Nathi Nhleko to investigate how two vastly differing reports into the illegal rendition of 5 Zimbabweans was compiled. McBride started his testimony on Thursday, that is yesterday, after it had been postponed twice. On Thursday, he gave his account on the docket for a rendition case prepared by Criminal Intelligence. That case involved the then head of Hawks, Anwa Dramat, and former Gauteng Hawks head Shadrack Sibiya. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our reporter, Mzwandile Mbeje, who's standing by for us. Mzwandile, what's the latest at the state capture inquiry?
A very good afternoon to you, Nompo. I think as you have said earlier, so basically that what you have just said in terms of that Werksman report that you are referring to, it basically pointed to a relationship that was not healthy between these individuals, whether it's the Minister of Police and, of course, IPID. So it stemmed really from those two reports. Remember that when McBride got into IPID, there was already a report that had recommended that Dramat and Sibiya be charged. But of course, he says that report was still a draft report, and they were concluded. There was also a second report that when it had been completed, then had no need for them to be charged. So when Minister Nhleko requested that report, and then they gave him the final report, which did not recommend that they be charged. So basically, from the side of the minister, he felt that something had gone wrong. Here are two reports, probably with the similar standing. But when he requests a report and then he gets the one that says no charging, that is the reason why then he commissioned that Werksmans report, Werksmans firm, to really look into the issues that related to the work of the IPID. And then, of course, we understand that later on that led to the charging of Mr. McBride and, of course, Mrs. Dramat and Shadrack Sibiya. But basically, all this, according to McBride, was happening because these were the people really who were against the corrupt activities. These are the people who wanted accountability in the public service. But it appeared that so their work was impeding the work of other people, perhaps, who had their own agendas. I think that's why it created so much tension that at every turn and at every point, so they found themselves being given notices of suspension. But in the end, Nompu, the charges that had been charged with, in the end, all of them were dropped. So, which he says proved that whatever those people were doing, they were pursuing their own agendas, not that they had serious issues really to deal with.
And very quickly, Mzwandile, we understand that Mr. McBride made it quite clear that he wanted his testimony to be over by the end of today. He's only literally just implicated 1 or 2 people, and he's planning on implicating 30 people. So is that really a realistic expectation that he'll conclude today?
Well, there is no way, Nompu, given the slow pace of this evidence, that will finish today. In fact, I see us proceeding until Monday and possibly Tuesday, because they are at the very early stages of his evidence. We are still going to hear him implicate the Scorpions. We are still going to hear him implicate an even more number of people, really, who were very central in these law enforcement agencies. So it does appear this will take much longer than we had expected.
All right, Mzwandile, well, we'll leave you to it. Thank you very much. That was my colleague Mzwandile Mbeje reporting there from the State Capture Inquiry.